Hello everyone, and welcome to a brief introduction to variations in heredity. This video will correspond to your note, Variations in Heredity, as well as the Gummy Bear Genetics activity sheet, so make sure you have both handouts with you and follow along throughout the presentation. In the Gummy Bear Genetics activity, you looked at 5 different patterns of inheritance. Let's find out what those variations are called. Complete dominance occurs when one allele will determine the phenotype regardless of the presence of another allele. Mendel's experiments with pea plants demonstrated complete dominance, but not all traits are passed from parent to offspring in the simple patterns that Mendel proposed. Which station do you think represented complete dominance? Station 1 showed complete dominance. The allele for green color is dominant over the recessive allele for red color. Both Generation 2 gummy bears are a cross between a green bear and a red bear, and we can see from the third generation that the F1 cross produces both green and red bears. So these second generation bears must be heterozygous, meaning they carry both the dominant allele for green, big G, and the recessive allele for red, little g. We can draw a Punnett square to represent the possible combinations for the cross of Generation 2. Red is the recessive phenotype, so there's a 25% chance that the 7th offspring will be red. Let's take a look at the next pattern of inheritance. Incomplete dominance occurs when 2 alleles are equally dominant and they interact to produce a new phenotype, which is often an intermediate of the 2 homozygous phenotypes. Incomplete dominance is sometimes called blending. Which station do you think represented incomplete dominance? Station 2 showed incomplete dominance. The allele for red color is incompletely dominant over the allele for a yellow color, resulting in a blended expression, in this case, orange. The second generation gummy bears are orange, meaning they must have a heterozygous genotype with both the red allele and the yellow allele. We can draw a Punnett square to represent the possible combination for the third generation. We use C for the characteristic color, with superscripts R for red and Y for yellow to show that these alleles are equally dominant. We need a heterozygous genotype of red and yellow to produce the blended phenotype orange. So there's a 50% chance that a 7th offspring would be orange. Let's take a look at another pattern of inheritance. Codominance occurs when both alleles are expressed at the same time to produce a mixed phenotype. Which station do you think represented codominance? Station 3 showed codominance. The allele for orange is codominant with the allele for green, resulting in a mixed green and orange phenotype. The second generation gummy bears are heterozygous with both the green and orange alleles. We can draw a Punnett square to represent the possible combinations for the third generation. We use C for the color gene and superscripts O and G for the equally dominant orange and green alleles. We need a homozygous orange genotype to produce a pure orange. So there would be a 25% chance that the 7th offspring would be orange. But what about if we want an orange male? What is the probability that an offspring would be male? The probability for getting a male offspring would be 50%. Since we want orange and male, we will use the product rule for the probability of these two independent events happening together. When we multiply the probabilities of the offspring being orange and the probability of the offspring being male, we get a 12.5% chance that the seventh offspring will be both orange and male. Another pattern of inheritance that will be reviewed in more detail later is sex linkage. Sex-linked genes are found on one of the sex chromosomes, either the X or Y, and can be expressed when passed on to an offspring. Which station do you think represented sex linkage? Station 4 showed a sex-linked pattern of inheritance. Only male gummy bears were affected by the sugar bear disease. But how did the disease pass from generation 1 to generation 3 without appearing in generation 2? The genetic disease is carried on the X chromosome. The female bear in generation 2 inherited an affected X chromosome from her father. But since females have two X chromosomes, the recessive disease is not expressed. We can say that this gummy bear is a carrier of the sex-linked gene for the sugar bear disease, and she can pass the affected X chromosome onto her offspring. The male offspring will express the disease because males only have one X chromosome. A dihybrid cross involves two different genes, resulting in multiple different expressions. Which station do you think represented a dihybrid cross? Station 5 showed a simple dihybrid cross. Tail color and head color are controlled by two different genes for these gummy fish. Red is the dominant allele for tail color. Yellow is the dominant allele for head color, while blue is the recessive allele for head color. Other variations in heredity can be caused by epistasis or polygenetic inheritance. Epistasis is when the effects of one gene mask the effects of another. Some examples in humans include red hair and albinism. Polygenetic inheritance is when many genes contribute to the overall expression. Some examples in humans include skin color and height. Thanks for watching, everyone.